Anytime I see Jasmine Crockett's face pop up, the very first thought that enters my mind is that today is the day that I will be educated by a strong black woman. That's it. I don't think to myself, wow, what an idiot. I don't think to myself, why do you got to be so damn ratchet while in Congress? I don't think to myself, the ghetto queen of Congress. What I think to myself is that I am going to be educated by this strong black woman. And so today's one of those days because Jasmine Crockett's face popped up once again. Another viral moment. I think to anybody out there with a little bit of sense, let me just go ahead and play this and let me get my 2 cents on the other side. Let me just, before I get too crazy on him, let me just go ahead and let her roll this out for us because I am indeed in need of some education from a strong black woman.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Yes. Right. Yes.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
I'm not. Not right now.
Okay,
it's hot outside.
Raise your hands.
It ain't me.
You're not.
So I'm glad to know that today, indeed, it was the ghetto queen of Congress. Sometimes you don't know. Are you going to get Jasmine Crockett or you going to get the ghetto queen of Congress? Which one of those two are you going to get? You just don't know. Life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get, right? And that's a pretty fitting line because both characters, the Jasmine Crockett or the ghetto queen of Congress, as well as Forrest Gump, are mentally compromised. So that was a perfect segue back into this ridiculousness. Let's actually run it back for a second. Let's let her cook until she burns the entire kitchen down.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton.
Did y'all just catch what she said? So in her defense of illegal immigration, she states that the reason why we need to keep these people here is so we can keep them as slave labor. That's what she said. I'm not creating any sort of narrative. There ain't no hyperbole. Listen to what she said. What is the context?
So I had to go around the country and educate people
about what?
What immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Okay, let's get to the point. So it's about immigrants, right? What do immigrants do for this country? What do they do?
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
Okay, so farming, got you. So I guess they're just relegated to basically farm hands, farm work, right? I know that's a world that many of them are existing, but let's just say this is how they view these individuals. This is how the left has always viewed people. From a place of pure stereotype. They have viewed every single demographic as a monolith. This is what you are, and especially the elites like Jasmine. You may be surprised, but the ghetto queen of Congress wasn't always the ghetto queen of Congress. She used to be Jasmine Crockett, the Catholic schoolgirl. You understand me? That's what it was before it is what it is. You understand me? So, yeah. So relegating them to farmhands. Got you. Okay, check.
Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not.
I feel like she regrets what she just said. I know there's a little, pause in her gesture to let the joke hit, whatever, but I promise y'all, there is going to be some sort of rebuttal. She is going to make some sort of statement in the next few days where she will be apologizing. Y'all might see this video in a few days after it's posted. Sometimes I'm not always with the exact news cycle, but I believe that these stories can be stretched out. I think news cycles are way too fast nowadays, to be honest. It's like every day is just something new. So sometimes we got to really sit on something. But I guarantee you that by the time you watch this, and today is April 8th, 2025. By the time y'all watch this, she will have backtracked and said something about, well, that's not what I was saying. But no, sis, that's exactly what you said. As a matter of fact, you said something even worse. Let's continue.
You're not. We done picking cotton.
So what was the need for the cotton picking comment? Are you saying that the illegal immigrants should not only be relegated to being farmhands, underpaid, mistreated, etc., but you're also saying that they should then be free labor? They should be slave work. I mean, why make the comparison? This is an argument that's been used time and time again in defense of immigrant or illegal immigrant workers staying in this country, or just illegal immigrants overall. They use this thinking it is in defense of this idea, because what they really care about is having a larger voting base. That's what the ones in power on the left who are in defense of keeping illegal immigrants here, they also want them voting. They want to eliminate any sense of voter ID, etc. I grew up in California. My first vote, I didn't have to submit any sort of, are you actually a citizen? Any of that when I put in my ballot, right? When I turned in my ballot, when I collected my ballot, as well as turned in my ballot, there was no question. They didn't ask me. As a matter of fact, they probably would have been offended if I asked to give them some form of identification. So why exactly would these people stand for it? Simple, because they want to remain in power. They want a control or a base that they can control. And who better than the people who you give handouts to that are here illegally, that you then give permission to then vote into a system that they don't even understand? So besides that whole thing, they use things like this in defense of it. Well, who's going to pick our berries? I mean, there was a story I did. Unfortunately, the sound was completely off. That was on me. But basically, the story was how a woman on CNN was essentially saying, who's going to pick the berries for my smoothie? This is a liberal, mind you, a progressive. They told us that we're the racists, that us over here on the conservative side of the aisle, us over here as Republicans, we're the racists. But yet these are the type of ideas and the tropes that they have in their head. I mean, I'm going to run this back one more again, in the words of the ghetto queen of Congress.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all.
Also, we're not a country of illegal immigrants. We're actually a country of, better for worse, we're a country of settlers. And the difference is this: those who came here in the inception of America, or I guess the United States of America, they had nothing. Most of them literally had nothing. They came here with the shirts on their backs, and they had to create something out of nothing. The new way in which illegal immigrants are coming in, they can go into a quote unquote sanctuary city, sanctuary state, and they are given free resources. They're taken care of. And the money is coming from the taxpayer. The money is coming from the individuals who are actually feeding into that system. So there's a huge difference there, having basically a country that is not built out. There is no real infrastructure. And those people basically have to build their own, as opposed to having people coming here illegally and being given hotel rooms for free. They're being given food vouchers. They're being given, all sorts of resources for their children that the American citizens aren't getting. They're being taken care of as if they're the ones feeding into the tax system. That's the problem here. If it was, you have to be a contributing factor. You have to add this, and this, and this. And you can't be a criminal, etc. If those were the stipulations, then you would likely already have an opportunity to come here and to add to the tax base, to add to the ecosystem. That's why Trump is giving out these gold cards to say if you pay $1 million into the system directly and you fill these different criteria, you get the equivalent of a green card on your path to citizenship. You don't just buy a citizenship. You got to still work your way there, but you get your path to citizenship. If you're somebody who's giving $5 million into the system, you're somebody who is a contributor. You are giving more to the system than most individuals will give throughout an entire lifetime. That's just the God honest truth, monetarily at least. That's just the facts. You may not like that. Folks on the right may not like that. Folks on the left may not like that. That's the reality. Somebody gives $5 million cash and puts that into the American system. they have immediately, in one fell swoop, given more money into the tax system than the average person is going to give throughout a lifetime. It's not saying they mean more than you, not saying they're better than you. It's not saying any of those things. It's not a moral aspect or a moral thing. It is instead a social and an economic thing. Simple as that. So again, she wants people coming here getting handouts, but at the same time, she wants them picking her cotton. Fantastic. You make a lot of sense.
I'm trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton.
And this is at a church, mind you. Grace Baptist Church. That's why she turned it all the way ratchet. She got her, she got like the Joker from the early Batman films. Who was the Joker in that? It was Jack Nicholson. She looks like Jack Nicholson as the Joker if Netflix did a reboot of that one.
We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
So
I know that's right. There's always somebody ready to, especially in a black church. I know that's right. Preach. They ain't saying nothing up there. Not a damn thing has been said that makes any sort of sense. And you over there, I know that's right. Preach. And she's probably going to tie in religion into it and the whole nine. I would love to see this entire clip, actually. Let's see if we can eventually find the whole thing. But yeah, I just wanted to be educated today by a brilliant, strong, independent black woman. So what do we have in the comments? What's the term? What's the term when an ignorant moron who can barely speak English begins in the language? I had to educate. Oh, that's true. Every single time they open their mouth, I got to educate the people. Jasmine Crockett is ghetto trap. Yeah, I agree. I wish I could like that 10,000 times. What else we got here? Yep, that's right. I'm a stupid and I'm a ghetto trap. That's right. So a black woman is telling illegal immigrants they need to start picking cotton, and all the Democrats will say, slay, queen. That's facts. The Democrats have gone full racist. They've been that. They literally, okay, look, who is this? Sean, they have always been that. They have always been full racist. They were that since the very beginning. It's called slavery, the very thing that they fought to keep. That's the Democratic plantation for you. This is how cotton is picked now. Been that way for a long time. That is ignorant. Wow. Thank you, somebody, for bringing the actual physics into his house. I didn't even know that. That's how cotton's being picked right there. So I guess Jesus is not the one who is doing this work, allegedly. So yeah, it looks like that argument is completely dead in the water. But again, you're educated and you're an independent, strong black woman. So everything you say is valid. Did some tard simp actually say, that's right? That's what I was saying. Oh, I know that's right. I know that. Oh, girl, I know that's right. No, that is not right. There's nothing right about it. It's all left. It should get left behind. So now Hispanics need to be slaves in her book. That's right, Brittany. Tell them, Brittany. So now we're done picking cotton. Then speak like this. Regressed backwards into literal chattel slavery lingo. The lingo of the redneck, in essence. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I mean that straight up. Shout out to our brother Thomas Sowell, the black redneck. It's redneck culture. Girl, yeah, you understand me? And I know a lot of Ebonics slips into my language. I know that. Doing my best to get that up out of me, if you understand. It is a process indeed, but it's funny because she went in reverse. She started with the speaking well and then regressed into chattel chatter, basically, into jive talk, as they may have said. Flunked out of Juicy Smollett acting school. That's funny. When the hoax ain't hoaxing. But anyway, yeah, thank you for the constant feed of just inspiration and no stupidity at all. We thank you for that, Miss Jasmine Crockett. Till the next time, peace. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light.
fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night.
I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.